Hey, Danny Lipford here, and welcome to Talk to Today's Homeowner. Today we're talking about fall and some of the things that you may want to do around your home. Now, have you printed out the list that's available to you at todayshomeowner.com/4 seasons? Well, you should, because this is what you'll end up with. And the list, here's how these lists came about. A few years ago, Joe Troini and I, my co-host on my radio show and also a Simple Solutions host on today's Homeowner Television show, he and I sat down and wanted to put together the essential things that we feel homeowners need to do on a yearly basis in order to maintain their home. Well, we ended up with 40 things on a list. That's too long of a list for anybody. So we divided it up into the 4 seasons, so it makes it a lot more manageable. And what I'm going to do is take you through the 10 essential items. We also have categories here if time and budget allow. Maybe you've got a little extra money and a little extra time, want to be, a little bit stronger in a smart homeowner way. Well, we're going to show you a few of those things as well, and a little something extra, just a few things that really put you over the top if you really want to do that. Now, we want you to click down on the share button, if you will. We want a lot of people to be able to take advantage of some of the little tidbits of information we're going to share with you. And this is sponsored by our friends at Home Depot, where you can go out and buy every single thing you need in order to complete everything on this list. And on our top 10 must-do list, we're only talking about a little more than a day's worth of work. You don't have to do it all in one day. Do a few hours here, a few hours there, and the cost less than $100. So here's some of the things on the list. Replace your air conditioning heating system filters and vacuum the area behind the filter. So most air conditioning or heating filters are in a hallway, and you bring the return air grill down and you take the air conditioning heating filter out and replace it. What I would recommend is a good high performance indoor air filter that this one particular one takes care of dust and pollen and really does help clear that air considerably. And it's electrostatic filter, so you're only going to have to change it about every 3 months. So this is important. But one of the things that a lot of people don't do that they should is when you remove that filter, you have this cavity back there called a plenum. And take your vacuum cleaner and clean that as well as you should. There shouldn't be any dust in there, but maybe some cobwebs and maybe some things get in there that get past the filter, and those also need to be cleaned out really well. So that's the first thing on the list, and we're talking about almost no money and almost no time involved in it at all. Okay, next thing, cleaning and inspecting your guttering, because the leaves are going to be falling. You want to make sure you start the season with all of the guttering clean. Here's something I did years ago with an antifreeze jug. You just simply cut this much of it off, and then you still probably want to use gloves, but this is a lot better than reaching down in the muck that you might have in your gutters. And this way you can grab this, scoop it up, put it right in a garbage bag, makes it a lot cleaner and safer and easier. But still, when you're on those ladders, really be safe. Hey, if you're just joining us, and I hope we're getting a lot of people on today, I'm Danny Lipford, and this is Talk to Today's Homeowner, and we're talking about the top 10 essential items you might want to do around your home to really properly maintain your home. So we're talking about changing your air filter. We talked about cleaning your gutters. Next on the list, raking leaves. Now that's no fun, but I'll tell you what, since I found this rake, it's pretty amazing. First of all, you can tell I've used the heck out of this thing. It's real wide and very lightweight plastic and so forth. And then this cool thing, it pops right off. If you got maybe one of your kids that are around and they want to, help mom or dad out on the yard, well, they won't last long, but they'll maybe help them a little bit. But what this is really designed for is reaching into your garden beds and pulling out any of the leaves that you may have that's sitting on top of the mulch, and that allows you to really do some of the little smaller things, and it's right there when you need it. So that's something that's very important this time of the year, is to keep the leaves from staying on your lawn that can cause too much moisture to accumulate there, and that'll lead to some fungus and some problems with that. So that's one of the things. Next thing, you're through with the lawnmower, right? This time of the year, you probably don't need it anymore, so don't just put it away and have to maintain it later. Go ahead and you can drain the gas out of it completely, but I'll tell you what really works well is to go ahead and just run it and keep mowing or keep using it until all of the gas runs out of it. Then there's no gas in the system. That's the best way to store it through the season. And then go ahead now and get you a tune-up kit, which is so easy on a mower like this. You've got a spark plug, you're going to have an air filter, you're going to have an oil filter, and you're going to have a little bit of oil that you'll change. It won't take long at all for you to get it in good shape, and go ahead and sharpen the blade. Now what I like to do is I'll have an extra blade that, that I will keep sharp so that I can pull one blade off and put the other one right on. And there's a lot of ways you can sharpen a blade. This is one where you just simply just run your file, and you look at the profile of that. You want to maintain that profile, and then just get some good light, make sure that you're doing right, and just use a file designed for this, and then you can cut it, make a big difference, and have that ready to go. Go ahead and install it, and then clean it all up, wash it all down, and it'll be there ready for you next spring when the grass starts growing again. So that's being very proactive, and I certainly recommend that. Again, anything that you need is available at Home Depot right now. Okay, the next thing would be if you have storm windows. In a lot of areas of the country, people actually install their storm windows and remove them, and a lot of times you'll have a screen door that will have just screen in it, and you take the screen panel out and put the glass in just to insulate you a little better from the cold. If that's the case at your house, that's a good thing to do right now as well. Next thing is something that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the season, and there's a number of items that we have on the list on the different 4 seasons that may not point to that exact season, but it's something you should do once a year. And here we're recommending drain your water heater. Now, if you've never drained your water heater, you'll be amazed at what comes out of there. A lot of times it's a white kind of calcium looking sediment, but all you have to do is hook a water hose to the little drain at the bottom of your water heater, run it to the outside. Then you turn off the gas, turn off the electricity, whatever you have, and then turn that valve on. You also, of course, turn the water off at the top of the water heater. Then everything drains out of it. And again, be at the other end when after you turn that on, look at all the stuff that's coming out of there, and you'll see why it's important to do, because it'll give you better quality of water. It'll make your water heater work a lot better, a lot more efficient, and as a result of that, it's going to last a lot longer. And all of those instructions on any of this is available online at todayshomeowner.com/4seasons. Next on the list of top 10 is to check your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. I hope you have sufficient detectors throughout your home, and it's a good idea to go along, push the button, and test those and make sure they're doing right. Now, you need to have a smoke detector outside every bedroom and in the garage and all levels of your home. Same way with carbon monoxide. Extremely important. So many stories are out there where carbon monoxide and smoke detectors have saved a lot of families. So make sure yours are in good shape. And what a lot of people don't know nowadays, things have changed a lot in that the new smoke detectors have the lithium batteries in them and will last 10 years. And also smoke detectors that are 10 years or older need to be replaced anyway, because the sensors will go bad after a while. So take care of that to make sure your family's nice and safe. Next, make sure that you're keeping all of the conditioned air that you have, the heated air in your home this winter, in the home, by making sure you check all of your weather stripping. It's so easy to pick up different types of weather stripping depending on what you need. And if you'll inspect what you have around your doors and windows, and then take a little piece off, take it to Home Depot, and you can match exactly the same type so that you won't have any problem with it being consistent and working properly. Because if you really think about the home as an envelope, and you really want that envelope to be tight, your doors and windows are a key part of that to keep your hot air from leaking and cold air from infiltrating. Very easy project there. And again, none of these things will cost you very much. Another thing, if you have a irrigation system, a yard sprinkler system, go ahead and drain it so that you won't have any freeze damage. And the last thing on the list is to check insulation and see if you need some more. I recently built a home and actually found a void in an area next to my garage that in the attic that had no insulation. I don't know what they did or how they chose, maybe they ran out, I don't know. But I'm about to add some insulation. And the thing is, this has just been developed. Now this looks like the regular Owens Corning famous pink insulation, but it's actually a bit different. This is Owens Corning Next Gen pink insulation. And whereas, you know, a lot of times you would even the sight of this would make you start itching. Well, this you don't have to worry about. The way they've created this is, I swear it's like cotton candy or something, but it's so easy to use. It's just a different material. It's the next generation of insulation, the new standard of insulation. Great for soundproofing. You might be remodeling let's say your bathroom or an office area around your home and want to kind of keep those sounds from transmitting through the walls, well, this will work great for that, in addition to its great qualities. And again, it's sitting there waiting on you at Home Depot right now. So see how simple that was. Now that might sound like a long list, but some of these things might not even apply to your home. And either way, you have the list. You can put it on your refrigerator. You can check the boxes, make you feel good about all the things that you've done there. And this is available again, free right now at todayshomeowner.com/4 seasons. So, and also a pretty cool infographic, which I think is pretty good, that'll show you some of the things and why and where, in case you have any questions about any of it. And this is also available to you right now. Okay, so let's say you're one of those ambitious homeowners and you've already completed the top 10 list and you've got a little money left and a little bit of time left. Let me give you a few suggestions on some of the things you can do right there. Trim the hedges and shrubs, great time of the year to do that. Recoating the trim paint in at least one room of the home. So you don't have to do the whole house, but just find one room and go ahead and touch up all of the trim in there. Another one, pull out and unplug the refrigerator so that you can clean behind the refrigerator, and make sure underneath you clean those coils, because if they get impacted with any type of debris or dust or so forth, it's not going to work right as well. Remove all the dead plants from any of your garden, trim the dead tree limbs, check the caulking around bathtubs, recaulk if needed, and clean and deodorize the dishwasher with white vinegar. Run some white vinegar through there, and that'll certainly help clean that up. So that's if time and budget allow. And since we have a little more time, let me tell you something else, a little something extra. Here's some things you can do. Split and stack firewood. Go ahead and get some firewood taken care of. And tell you what, if you have an elderly neighbor or somebody that might need a little help, why don't you take care of them as well with a little extra firewood? That goes a long way. Fire extinguishers, extremely important. Make sure they're all fully charged. Replace liners in cabinet drawers. You may have put those liners in your drawers or on your shelves when you first moved in. That was years ago. Might want to refresh those a little bit. And the last thing, clean and lubricate garden tools and then store them away. You'll be surprised at how much better some of the garden tools. It's just like taking a shovel and putting it up here and still use your file to cut an edge on it, or your hoe, or anything that you would be cutting with like that. Even some of your garden shears will make a big difference if you'll sharpen them, clean them up, oil them up a little bit. So there you go. It sounds like maybe a lot of work, but when you print out the list and you start thinking about it, you go, that's not bad. It's not going to cost much money. And the end result is you feel comfortable that you have done what you need to do in order to be a smart homeowner. Hey, I hope we've been able to share some information that will be beneficial to you. Go ahead and print out the list, grab a hold of it, and do what you need to do to keep your home the best looking one on the block. I'm Danny Lipford. Thanks so much for being with us, and we appreciate our friends at Home Depot. We'll talk with you soon.